Hey, let me warn you, this isn't a tutorial channel. I'm not here to teach Django or whatever other topic interests me. I'm just following a book or a tutorial, trying to figure out if I can actually build stuff with it. And every video is me learning in real time, figuring out what clicks, what confuses me, and whether I'm even ready for this. Also, this is not programming every day until I find a job channel. I already have a job in IT, in development. This is me trying to level up and wanting to see what processes lie in other areas of technology and development. So if you are interested in these things as well, if you want to watch me learn things, this is the place. Welcome to my channel. Let's see how far I get before I break something. Now, on Django specifically, I'm following a great book titled Django 3 by example. Build powerful and reliable Python web application from scratch. It's been published in, let me see, it is 2020, so it's quite an old one, but I'm already at chapter 7, and this one is on building an online shop. So this whole chapter will be on building a real-life project in Django, which I actually look forward to, and I hope to go because I'm making really slow progress. I hope I can I turn like 60 pages today? Let's see. Also, because I already followed the other chapters before this one's gonna go a bit quicker, so to say. I'm not gonna write code, I'm gonna mostly, I don't want to say copy code, because I also want to understand it as well, but it's gonna be a combination between a fast-paced tutorial and something in which I involve myself. So I'm in my projects directory. There should be a learning Django one here. There is. So first thing, I can run my environment. Source mayan bin activate. By the way, this environment holds also all the pip libraries for social and test project as well. I don't care. This is only for learning purposes. Okay, I activated my environment. As I said, this Django tutorial will be a more fast-paced because I know a lot about web development, and I learned a lot about Django from the book as well. So it's gonna be quicker in a sense. Django admin start project. I'm gonna call it my shop. cd my shop, and here I'm gonna create a new app. It's gonna be called shop. Let me clear all of this and let me open this in VS Code. Amazing. I'm just gonna increase this a bit so it's more visible, cleaner. But have I already made a mistake? I think I did. No, I didn't. My shop. I wanted to make sure that I opened all the directories, including the project itself, but I always forget that in Django the project is on the same level directory-wise as the apps. So, okay, it's not it's just nitpicking. I love Django. It's a bit overkill for a lot of the stuff I do, but okay. Let's add this settings py file, shop, apps, shop config. What I'm doing here, I'm just registering the shop application in my global project by adding this line here in the installed apps array. Now, shop, I have models, file, and here I'm gonna add some code. So instead of you watching at the screen while I'm typing it, I'm gonna use the magic of video editing. But what do we have here? A category model, a product model. The category model has a name field, a unique slug field, it also has some additional metadata, like the way it's ordered, the name in plural, the way how it's represented by string. All right, now the product class, what do we have here? We have a category, which is the category model, and here we have a foreign key on this category model. The way we created this is a one-to-many relationship, which means that a product belongs to one category, but a category can contain multiple products. All the other fields are basic: name, slug, image, description, price, available, created, updated. Seems basic. There's one peculiarity here, and that is inside the meta class of the product model, we use this property index together that I personally haven't seen before. Here it says it specifies an index for the ID and slug fields together. You define this index because you plan to query products by both ID and slug. Okay. Let's go back to our shell. Pip install pillow. I think I have pillow. Requirements already satisfied. I have pillow. Pillow is used to handle images. I think this will work. Python, manage py, make migrations. Of course, doesn't work. Why? Class meta got invalid attributes. Index together. Why? I mean, the book that I'm following is using Django 3. The version I'm currently having installed is Django 5 point something. So I'm using this index together option, which was deprecated and removed. So I need to find a new way to handle this, and I'm gonna do in indexes. This is gonna be an array, models, index, fields. Ah shit, now I forgot what fields I was using. ID and slug, right? Yeah. Fields, field this, okay. ID and slug. I can remove this. I can also put this here. And let's hope it works. Create model category, create model product. Okay. So this guy was gone. We have this new way of representing this. I'm gonna also create Python manage py migrate. All right, all good. Now this thing, I don't know if it's used, I don't know if it's useful, but we can also register catalog models on, and both of these models, we can register them on the administration side. Why do we do this? So we can log in into admin and we can manage categories and products. So admin py, this is the file. And I need to add some code to it. So I'm gonna register a category. It's gonna be a class category admin, model admin. This is what I'm displaying. I'm gonna display the name and the slug and pre-populated fields is gonna be slug name, but I should create a tuple for this. Okay. Here is the second one as well. The pre-populated fields attribute is specifying fields where the value is automatically set using the value of other fields, which is useful for generating slugs. Pre-populated, we have both of these here. Python manage py run server run server. Let's run our server, see if this will work. 8000. It's here. If I now go to admin, the dev test 1 2 3 4. I'm using my old, so I need to create a new super user as well. I need to create a new super user. I need to close you. Python manage py create super user Duke dev password blank password. Bypass password validation and create user anyway. Yeah, because I don't care. I'm just living like that. What? I need to run my app again. Okay. Let me move this down. Let me clear my terminal. Let's go back. Shops, views. Here we need to create a new view in order to display the product catalog, to list all the products, or to filter a product by a category. So let me start writing this. Product list request category slug none. Okay, I need a couple of imports from models, import category, import product, get object of 404. Is it here? Get object of 404. It is. Okay, so this is a Django view function. It means, again, I went through this a couple of times, but it's okay to go through it again. This is a Django view function. It means that this is what runs when someone visits a page on our site to look at the products. Let's break it down line by line. This is a view function. This is an optional, so this is the request object Django passes in, and this is an optional parameter that comes from the URL. This initializes a category for now. It's empty. It will later hold the selected category, if any. I'm getting all categories. I'm getting the products, but I'm filtering them by available, which means give me all the products that are available. If we have a category slug, we are pulling the category, then we filter again on the category, and then we return, we render the HTML page, and we pass these variables, category, categories, and products to it. Okay, we need another view, and this one, product detail request ID slug. This one is on individual products. Okay, this is it. The product detail expects the ID and the slug parameters in order to retrieve a product instance. We are in the shop still. I'm gonna create a new file, urls.py. We also need to create the URL params and URL patterns for them. So let's do this as well. URL patterns is an array. It's gonna have stuff like this: path, views, product list. I need to import all of these: name, product list. And now I'm importing from Django URLs, import path from the current directory, import views. No more issues here. I need to define two more URL patterns, and here they are. We have two different URL patterns for the product list view. A pattern named just product list, it gets all the products without parameters, and a pattern named product list by category, which is this one, which provides a category slug for filtering products. Next thing next, my shop, we have URLs here as well. I need to register the child app. Here it's gonna be path empty string include shop URLs namespace shop. I need an include here as well. Let me close all of this and let me open the models again. We are gonna add the get absolute URL here. I also need to import from Django URLs, import reverse. All right, I have added two get absolute URLs methods here. It's a convention to retrieve the URL for a given object, and we just provide some arguments here as well. Now, still while being inside the shop, let's create some templates. A folder, I'm gonna name templates. Inside this folder, I'm gonna create another one. Gonna be shop. Inside shop, I'm gonna create a new file, base HTML, but I'm also inside the shop, I'm gonna create a product folder, and inside the product folder, I'm gonna create two HTML templates, list.html and detail.html. Let us open the base HTML. I need to define a base template here. Okay, what do we have here? This is the base.html template. What are some interesting things? Maybe the load static, which is a tag. It activates the static function inside our template. What it does, it just says behind the scenes, hey, I want to use static files like CSS, JavaScript, or images in this template. I added this static tag, which means I want to import these guys. Please enable access to the static tag. So this is the base template. If this is the base template, what are then list and detail templates? Let's do those as well. So this is the list.html template. Let me just give it a quick glance to see if there's something that I might be unfamiliar with or something that is confusing. Okay, I'm extending the base. I'm loading the static files here as well. Okay, this is the title block. If there's a category, if it exists, we are pulling the category name, otherwise we are pulling the products. This is the content, it ends all the way down there. Okay, sounds simple, looks simple enough. Okay, so here we are iterating through products, and we have this line of code where we are showing image if one exists, otherwise we show the one that has no image. I need to pull this one as well, but if product image URL. For this to work, I need to edit my settings py in the my shop and the my shop file and say media underscore URL will be media. This will be the directory where we will store our media, and media root will be the path we create from the base directory to media. I need to import this. Where are you? Can I import it automatically? Quick fix. Import OS. Nice. This is only part of the solution. For Django to serve the uploaded media files, we need to edit URLs with py, and we add the following code. If settings debug, I also need to import settings as well from Django conf import settings. Settings URL patterns. I'm adding here the static link as well. Let me add this import here as well for the static method. Settings media URL document root is settings. Okay, before I run this again, I need to go inside my shop and I need to create a new directory that will be called static. Inside there, I'm creating another one that is being called CSS, and then inside this, I'm creating a new file, base CSS. I'm pasting this AI generated CSS, and I just want to make sure CSS base CSS should be right. Should be right. So let me run my shop. It's gonna be Python. No, it's not Python. It's run server. Ooh, we have another issue here. URLs py. Line 23. So it's not this URL file, it's this one. What is this issue saying here? Improperly configured Django core exceptions. Specifying a namespace in include without providing an app name is not supported. Set the app name attribute in included module, pass a to tuple containing the list of patterns and app name instead. So it's this app name is gonna be my shop. No. Where do I need to provide app name? Ah, in here. App name is gonna be shop only. Now it works. And here I have the styles for this, which were auto-generated by AI. Amazing. Let me go to admin. And let me do my username and password. Ah, I hate you. Let me add some categories here. I'm gonna make them funny. So, let's create a category named self-help. And another, what's something funny that I can do? Ethically dubious pets. Okay. And now let's create a couple of products on self-help. Let's create a book named Manifest Jail Time. I'm gonna call this the law of attraction for criminals. That will be the description. The price, for a measly price of $19.99, you can get this beautiful book. I also should add an image. I'm gonna add an image. Let me add the other books that I have. Self-help, manipulate first, apologize later, strategies for long-lasting toxic relationships. This one is on sale. Let's call it out for $11.99. And let me add another one. This one is gonna be how to blame your childhood for everything and win. The description will be become the ultimate victim. I think a lot of people would want this one, so I'm gonna put it at 34.99. Okay, let me try this. Let me try this. So I have all of these products here, but I don't have the images, and I'm just telling my good friend ChatGPT to generate me at least a couple of these images so I can use them. While this is going on, while he's working, it's magic in the background. I'm gonna continue with the book. So where's my code? Where's my code? It's here. And I need to open shop product detail. And I also need to add some code here as well. So this is our details file. And what do we have here? Do we have anything out of the ordinary apart from the fact that we can here click on a related category object to display the available products that belong to this category? There is nothing else interesting. So if I go back here, if I go to the products, if I click how to, which one is this? Manifest jail time. This must be the file. If I save, is this working? There's the image. But the image does not exist. Media products. The image is here, but it's a big image. Why is my book not working? Do I need to do a hard reload? Manifest jail time. The book is not working. Not found. Media products. This. Where do you come from? Media products. Oh man, I'm doing too much for a joke. I'm doing too much for a joke. But let me edit this image in GIMP, and I'm gonna come back with you when I finish this. Now I have another image here. Why are you not working, brother? Well, the issue most probably is, I'm gonna remove this image here. The issue is shop, my shop, which is a parent application, and there's settings, and here I have media URL and the media root. Have I imported OS? Yeah, I did. Let me also check URLs. And will this work? No, it doesn't work. What if I rebuild it? Still doesn't work. There is something deeply wrong here. Oh, and I'm not liking this at all. Maybe I need to media URL, media URL, media URL, media root. I know what's going on. I know. I mean, this also works, but yeah. Okay, I created 2 images. I don't really. I spent so much time on a stupid joke. I mean, I like it. It's funny. It's really funny. But all right, finally now I have my books on self-help and ethically dubious pets. I'm gonna generate ethically dubious pets later. Right now I'm fine with the 3 books I'm having. So if I click any of them individually, if I click self-help, I'm navigated back to my homepage with the self-help category selected, which is great, Now, let me create a shopping cart. So the user can purchase the products. They can select and purchase the products they want. So what do we want? We want to find a way to store data for each visitor, to have a certain persistence, so to say. And for that, we can use Django sessions, which is a session framework, Django specific. In order to work with sessions, let us go back here, remove all of this, remove all of this. Let me open Let me open settings py. Let me make sure I have the session middleware here somewhere. I have Django Cotrip sessions middleware session middleware. This specific middleware manages sessions, and it's here by default. So what we want is to persist the shopping cart through navigation, and we need to serialize this to JSON for storing our cart items, purchasing items in a session. So the cart needs to have the ID of a product instance, the quantity selected for the product, and the unit price of the product. So here we are I'm gonna close this search term. Let's go at the bottom. Let's add a cart session ID. It's gonna be cart. This property right here is the key that we will use to store the cart in user sessions. Let me stop the environment. Now let me create Python, manage py, start app, cart. This app specifically will be handling and managing shopping carts. Now here, where are my installed apps, shop config, I'm gonna add also cart apps, cart config. Let's go here. Let me add a new file. I'm gonna name it cart py. Now let me add some code here. This is a cart class, and let me try to understand why we have done this. So it's a cart class. We init it with a request session, self session. So I provided this session to the cart class, and then cart session ID self session get. So this will be probably the ID of the session. If it doesn't exist, okay, I'm gonna write this down to remember. Let me now add two methods. The add is gonna take a self product, quantity is gonna be 1 by default, override quantity will be false by default, product ID, I'm gonna get it stringified. Okay, if product ID not in self cart, self cart product ID, so get it by the ID. I'm gonna add it here. Quantity is gonna be 0, price is gonna be product price, but what's this? This needs to be stringified. Okay, what else can we do? If override quantity, self cart product ID, quantity is going to be quantity. Otherwise, let me do this, and I'm going to add a plus here. And then afterwards, I'm going to save this. And then let's also create a save method, which will just add this here. So the add method takes the product, the quantity, and the override quantity. The product is the product instance we want to add to the cart. This is the default quantity. And the override quantity is a boolean that will indicate whether the quantity needs to be overridden with the given quantity or whether the new quantity has to be added to the existing quantity. Okay. We also have the remove method, which will remove an item from the cart, and it will update the session. And here we have self-save. Why do we call it? Because we want to tell Django, hey, this session changed. Please save the new and updated version. We should also make the cart iterable, which is letting us loop through cart itself with a for iterator. And it will fetch actual product objects from the database, and it will enrich cart data. So I'm gonna write here def iterate self, and let me copy this. All right, beautiful. What do we have interesting here? Maybe the copy, because we don't want to mutate the original session dictionary while adding product instances and calculated prices. That's why we copy the cart here. Let us also create the len method. With the len method, we can call len cart to return the total quantity of products. How many items overall are there? So I can type in return some item quantity for item itself cart values. Close this, and I don't need the curly braces here. I can do this. And I can remove this here. Amazing. What else? We need the total price. So how will this work? Again, I'm gonna run the sum for item in self cart values. But I need here. This is gonna be decimal item price. Okay, but I need to multiply this by item quantity. And let us also add another method. It's going to be clear on the self session settings cart session ID self save. What we done here? Our cart is now complete. It's a shopping cart backend which adds and removes products, iterates over them, and accesses actual product data, gets total items and total price, clears everything when done. Okay, all of this looks nice. I wanted to just do something else now before I continue with the next chapter. I wanted to show my tablet. I have a couple of questions that I found on topics that were interesting to me. So the first one here says, what is index together? And if I'm remembering correctly, we had index together. It was a meta option in Django models. It told the database, please create a combined index on these fields. So what does this mean? So when I run my queries like product, objects, apologies, get, and if I run it on ID 5 and slugs phone, making an index on these two properties makes the query much faster. Can I? Which basically means that we are creating a mini phone book, but instead of being sorted alphabetically by letters, it's being sorted by these two properties. That was removed because Django now introduced a better, more flexible way. We can add the indexes option, and I added them in my app actually. So I have models, index, and now I can add fields. This should do the same thing. ID slugs. This should do the same thing. Because indexes, this notion right here is more explicit, it's more extensible. And we can specify index types. We can use maybe expressions for advanced queries and stuff like that. So if we have a product class, let me change my color. Let's say we have a class of product, right? And if I create this here index, what is happening? Without it, the database would have to scan all rows and check each one manually to find the match, which is okay. If we had 10 elements, that's okay, but if you had 100,000 elements, it's going to be very slow. But with a composite index, Django is telling the database, okay, create me a table, which is a really fast lookup table based on these two properties, ID and slug. So when Django migrates the database afterwards, it's going to create an SQL that's going to say create index, I don't know, it's going to call it name on product ID and slug. And it's faster. It's faster afterwards. So what's the second question here? Because this one is done. Pre-populated fields. Why is it a tuple? Where are you? Pre-populated fields. So why is this a tuple? Right here. You don't see it because my tablet is above it. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So let's change the color again. In my admin config, I have value of pre-populated fields, and it says something like this. It's slug, and here I have a tuple. It's a name, comma, I close the parentheses, I call the braces. So it actually matters a lot because it's used in the Django admin to autofill one field based on another. But why is it a tuple? Because Django allows me to base the auto-populated field on multiple fields. So what this means here, it means fill in the slug field using the values from the name field. But if I had also name slash, I don't know, variation, it would slugify the combined value of name and variation. Okay, another one. Done. What's my next question? Get absolute URL. Okay. Okay, let's also move to an empty page here. What do we have? Get absolute URL. Okay, with this get absolute URL method, Django is asking, hey, how do I get your canonical URL on the site? So when we want to link objects from anywhere without hard coding URLs, we are going to use this method. Okay, we define it inside our model. It returns the full URL path to view that object. So if I have, I don't know, let's say we have a method and I return reverse, I don't know, shop, and here I say arguments, let's say self ID slug, self ID and self slug. So now this returns something like 1 and the slug is iPhone 13, let's say. And if our URL pattern looks like, if you remember, we can also create our URL patterns inside URLs py. If our URL pattern looks like this, int id slash slug, now I can do this in templates. I can actually edit both in templates and views, and Django can automatically link to view pages for that object if we hook it up, which is amazing. Okay, another one done. Okay, let me open a new page for this. So the next question I'm asking is, let's talk sessions. Sessions, as I said, is the way Django remembers and keeps stuff about users between requests. Because without them, every page we click would feel like a reset button. We get to a completely new state. So a session itself is a place where Django stores user information across requests. So when someone visits our site, I don't know, let's say this is our site, Django creates a session ID. And this ID is stored in the user browsers in a cookie, as a cookie. And on the server side, Django stores a dictionary of data tied to that session ID. And we need to use sessions because without sessions, users would have to log in on every page. We couldn't have shopping carts. We couldn't track what the user is doing and stuff like that. And sessions can be stored in a lot of different ways. The default one is the database. There's also the cookie session, the cache, or even the file system. I'm not going to talk about this. But what can I have? Let's say I have one view, and in this one view I can say request dot session, and I say theme, and let's say it's dark. I happen to do this in one view. Now, in another view, later on, I can say theme is, I'm gonna say request session get theme. I can say light, and I can return this. And now Django will keep this theme for the user even across different pages, or even if we restart until the session expires. So one more time. Browser gets a cookie like this one. It's gonna match this session with the database, with the one that's found in the database, loads the session dictionary like a Python object, and then we can write and read request session like a normal dictionary, which is fun. Okay, I'm gonna close my tablet now, and we can continue with our coding session. I'm just gonna try to write a couple of new questions if I come across them. Now, let's close the cart, let's close the admin, let's close this as well. So we need to add items to the cart. Now, where is my cart? Here is my cart is. I've created the logic of the cart class. Now I need to wire the cart into views so the user can add products up there, the quantities, remove them, and all that jazz. Here inside cart, I'm gonna create a new file. It's gonna be called forms.py, and I'm just gonna copy this. So what do we have here? Let me take a look at this. Product quantity choices for an I in range starting from 1 to 21. I'm getting I and a string of I in a, is this a tuple? So what will I get? I will get one, so I will get a tuple with 1, comma 1 a string, another one with 2. Why is this here? So this is used as a drop down in the form so the user can select how many items they want. We store the label 1, the value 1, but the label 1 is shown. What else is interesting here? Quantity, form, typed choice field. So it uses this property right here that I created. So it's like a drop down, but it coerces, why would someone use this word? It coerces input into an integer using this coerce equals simple. What else do we have? We have another property. It's called override, and it's a Boolean field. It's not required. It's not initialized. It's a hidden input. So is this something hidden from the user? I'm not gonna break my head about this. So let me go now to the views, and here let's create a method to add items to the cart. Okay, it needs to be a post. Here we have a method definition. So it's gonna initialize a new card. Where is the card here? So I'm providing the request, and this one is creating a session. All right, I need to understand this card logic a bit better. I'm gonna do this later. Okay, then I'm pulling the product. Then I'm creating a form. It comes from this form right here. Oh, I clicked something that I didn't want to be clicked. So the form is valid. Form clean data is clean data. Cart, add, and then I redirect cart detail. Let me also add another method for cart removals. Okay, what else do I need to do? I need to. So what am I doing here? I'm creating a new cart instance. I'm passing it to the template via the context. Okay. Let me go to the URLs here. I need to create a file. URLs.py. I'm gonna add the patterns here. Okay, I have the app name. I'm namespacing the cart URLs so I can refer them as cart column cart detail, and each view gets a named path. Cart, it's only the cart detail. Cart add one's product. Cart remove one, remove product one. Okay. Same thing. Let me go into shop URLs. I need to hook up the cart here as well. No, not my shop. Shop. No, my shop. I apologize. It's my shop. Admin, shop URLs. I'm gonna add a cart here. I'm putting it before shop because the empty string would match everything. It's greedy. Putting it first ensures that the cart routes go to the cart app and not accidentally go to the shop app. And now let me go to cart, new folder, templates, new folder, cart, new file is gonna be detail.html. I'm gonna paste all of this. There's a lot of templating here. Okay. Let me now run this again. Run server. It works. It works. I mean, it works. It still isn't hooked up to anything. I'm gonna do this in the next episode. Thank you for watching this one. See you. Bye bye.